Successful companies have to get used to being boring companies. Right? You can't get bored of your campaigns as a marketing manager. कि ये बोर हो गया, आप change करते हैं. That way the consumer will never get the same message. So we have to try very hard. So whether it's a Amazon listing page or a Blinkit page or the store that you went to at the airport or a packaging booklet, whatever it is, we have to be very consistent. The way to do it is we have designed a very, very, very detailed brand manifesto. We have a consumer delight team that brings in consumers every month, every weekend, Saturday, 4 times a month, and we observe them in a bathroom setting doing hair removal, and that teaches us a lot, and that's great.
In a bold shift, D2C brands are making the change, and that is using customer experience as their true brand ambassador. There's a brand like Minimalistic who has caught attention of HUL having to acquire them without any such promotion or a celebrity endorsement. Today, we are going to uncover a sophisticated ecosystem of customer journey with Shantanu Deshpande, who is the founder and the CEO of Bombay Shaving Company. Let's dive into a conversation, one shave at a time. Shantanu, a very warm welcome to Masters
Thank you
of
so much.
Silks.
Thank you, Sakshi. Pleasure to be here.
I want to begin with risk-taking abilities of yours. Personal grooming has come to the forefront. What is that one thing that triggered you and you said, okay, I need to go for it and I will find my gap?
So I had a very classical career till I became an entrepreneur. I was an engineer from NIT Nagpur, business school from IIM Lucknow. I was a consultant at McKinsey. So like kind of doing well and charting what was a great risk averse and high income kind of a career. I was in Bombay, in fact, living in Prabhadevi, living a good life, right? Two things. One is I had seen my dad take an insane risk and become an entrepreneur at the age of 48. So my father was the CEO of Tech Mahindra. I grew up with a silver spoon in my mouth. I grew up in the US. I was always kind of financially more than taken care of. Now till date, there has never been something I wanted and didn't get. But at 48, my dad decided to leave a CEO's job and become an entrepreneur. This was 2001, 2002, and I was in 9th standard at that time, and I saw him build a company till 2019, a global company, headquartered in Mountain View, engineering team in Pune, and I grew up around all these, young engineers who were in his company, and I was like preparing for IIT and all that, and I saw him build a great product tech business and sell it in 2019. And I was like, yeah, I want to do this because this is clearly extremely exciting work. The second thing was I felt like I felt I could build a great brand. I think there was a huge opportunity in personal care, and I think while personal care had become a horizontally deep category for India, right? Whether it was Unilever or Procter or Colgate or Reckitt or all these guys that built soaps and shampoos and conditioners and sachets and face washes and facial creams and all of those things have become big, but specific uses were not getting, there was an opportunity to become a deep player in personal care. So inspiration from dad, large opportunity, and I was 28 years old. And frankly, I don't think it was a risk because worst comes to worst, what would have happened, Sakshi? I would have failed after 3 years and come back to McKinsey. Yeah. That's not a bad plan B. So I was like, cool, I can go out for 3-4 years, I'll try. If it doesn't work, I'll come back. If it works.
So the inclination and the fire in the belly that I want to do this.
Yeah. I always felt like, and I remember my dad had told me this, like there should be 3 things when you start up. Fire in the belly, gratitude in the heart, curiosity in the mind. And if you keep these 3 things, there's a desire to do well. There's a thankfulness for being in a position and position of privilege to be able to attract employees, raise money, convince a factory owner to make something for you. You have to be grateful all the time. And curiosity, you have to keep learning, keep talking to customers, you have to keep talking to investors, keep talking to a retailer, to a shopkeeper. If you have all these 3 things constantly, there's a good chance that there's also it's an entrepreneurship, you can fail, but I think there's a good chance you'll do well.
And also a chance that you will meet the right people at the right time.
I think investing in people is probably the biggest thing one should do as an entrepreneur because the returns come back a little later. Sometimes you get disappointed because you invest in the wrong people. Sometimes people disappoint you because it's rarely because of incompetence or malice. It's mostly because of carelessness. So, but it's okay. Like 2 on 10 times they'll disappoint you, 8 on 10 times they'll give you 100x return. So that investment is more than makes up for every IRR math that will go wrong.
Also the fact that, if you hit the dart perfectly, then there's no scope to learn, right? Or unlearn.
Correct. So you have to learn, like you have to throw enough dart to throw enough darts at the board. Some will stick, the ones that don't you learn from.
Wonderful.
And we have made enough mistakes in our business. We can talk about that, but we've made enough mistakes. But hopefully we've not repeated them with high costs.
We've spoken about people now. My only question to you is, how important are people and community and your consumers, and how have they helped you shape your business to where it is now?
Constantly. I think, so I will divide people into 3 parts, right? I think one are evangelists of your company, people who invest in your company, are advisors, board members, investors, shareholders. So there is a structural ownership which is distributed across these people. They want the best for the company long term, right? They will invest and they want to get. So they will help you with things like attracting great talent, with compliance, with the right processes, with executive mentorship of senior people, all of that, right? It's, think of it as like the ultimate HR on steroids, right? In the way. The second part is your actual talent, the people who are rolling up their sleeves every single day and achieving sales targets, making products, designing campaigns, doing the work on a day-to-day basis so that this engine is able to keep growing. And the third is our consumer group. We are now shipping between 1.5 million to 2 million products a month. Our vision is 2, 5, 10. 2 crore bathrooms, 5 products per bathroom, 10 minutes of happiness. Any unwanted hair on your body that an Indian person has and wants to remove, Bombay Shaving Company and Bombay should be the go-to brand for them. Any unwanted, look at the both of us, right? I have a shaved head, I have a beard, I have a tattoo, I like to go to the gym. So I'm also someone who has more hair on my upper body. I don't like it when it's hot, in summers especially. Right now it's winter, it's fine, but in summers I don't like it. So I have so many different use cases for removing hair. Look at you, you're a woman, and for a woman the real estate is extremely complicated because skin is much softer. Hair density is very different. Women shave wrist to arm, ankle to thigh. Longer hair, sparser hair, softer skin. Right? Women shave in the shower area, men shave at the basin. Women use hair removal cream and hair removal sprays. Women also go to the waxing salon. Men mostly shave without using the brain. So many use cases for removing hair. Not a single brand that does it. So our consumers teach us every single day that when they're removing hair from their body, look at the staff in the room. Everyone there's a person who shaves every day. There's someone who has a stubble. There's someone who will want to use a trimmer. So they will keep telling us कि I use this. मेरे को ये problem होता है. जब मैं trimmer use करता हूँ, तो मेरे बाल बेसिन में गिरते हैं और वो बेसिन गंदा होता है. I'm like, oh, that's an interesting one because razor doesn't have that issue, but trimmer does. Right? मैं सर शेव करता हूँ लेकिन मेरे को पीछे का दिखता नहीं है, वो कट होता है. Right? मेरे पर्स में फिट नहीं होता ट्रिमर. मैं जब ट्रैवल कर रही होती हूँ तब मेरे को कुछ चाहिए. Right? 1,000 things. So that we have a consumer delight team that brings in consumers every month, every weekend, Saturday, 4 times a month, and we observe them in a bathroom setting doing hair removal, and that teaches us a lot, and that's great.
That's wonderful to hear. I didn't know the kind of study that goes into building something as a razor or as a trimmer.
So actually think about it, we take sharp metal to your face when you're sleepy every morning. It's a high risk activity.
Very.
That you trust us means we have to deliver at a very high level. It's not a भुजिया जिसमें नमक थोड़ा ज़्यादा पड़ गया. थोड़ा एंगल चेंज हो गया ब्लेड का तो कट जाएगा तुम्हारा चेहरा.
And doesn't bring you a loyal customer. They will not retain.
Can you imagine what that customer thinks about my razor if I cut him in the morning?
Not good for sure.
Right? If I make the blade less sharp, it won't cut the hair. If I make it sharp and the razor is badly designed, it will cut his face. I have to be absolutely precise about this. So that's where consumers are very important.
And also the knowledge that you give to the customers. So, I had gone through your website and it showed how to use the razor or the blade, Because a lot of us don't know how to do it in the first place. So we got to unlearn to relearn. So tell me about how you have imparted this knowledge to all the consumers.
See, we have, one of the things is our category is evolving very quickly. So the first product that a man would buy would be a 20-25 rupee razor at the age of 17 or 18. Like in my generation, maybe even your generation, right? You look at today's 24-25-year-old, or maybe today's 22-year-old. The first product they're buying is not a 20 rupee razor at the age of 17-18. The first product they're buying is a 400 rupee trimmer at the age of 14. तो 3 साल पहले खरीद रहे हैं 20 गुना ज़्यादा expensive product because they want to get the mustache right. Puberty is happening earlier for young men and young women. They're getting hair on their bodies quicker, right? They're in school, they're more conscious, they're on Instagram a lot. So hair removal is becoming unique. So for us, we realized that we have to make sure that we stay close to the consumer and we're able to give them delightful products at a price and a value that makes them feel that this is worthwhile. So in those 3-4 minutes in the morning or whenever, before you go out on a date, you want to go out for a wedding, you're going for vacation, or you're going to wear a swimsuit, you're going to go to a swimming pool, whatever, you feel that you're fully taken care of. And that's the important thing.
And it's a feel-good factor for a brand.
Big time.
And that is how you bounce back.
Big time. Big time.
The communication that goes out, be it your online or, your products at a salon partnership, how is it that you're creating this consistency when it comes to talking about the brand or being seen?
I think that's a very good question, and I think we struggle with it. We try to do it, we don't do it as well as we like because we are still a young company. So think of us as a 10-year-old child. A 10-year-old child doesn't have the concentration of an adult. Even if they have high potential, academically good in sports, etc., they're still kind of ये भी करना है, वो भी करना है, सब कुछ करना है. So we are childlike in our organizational tenure, right? So it takes a lot for us to stay focused and stay boring. Successful companies have to get used to being boring companies, right? You can't get bored of your campaigns as a marketing manager. कि ये बोर हो गया आप change करते हैं. That way the consumer will never get the same message. So we have to try very hard. So whether it's a Amazon listing page, or a Blinkit page, or the store that you went to at the airport, or a packaging booklet, whatever it is, we have to be very consistent. The way to do it is we have designed a very, very, very detailed brand manifesto. That this is the identity of the brand, this is what we stand for, this is the personality, and this is the kind of communication. And any communication we do has to fit this brand manifesto. And we try to not get bored of it. We try to not change it much. Unless there's something fundamentally wrong with it, we don't change it. So we did a full rebrand a couple of years ago. We had Gauri Malhotra, our CMO, join us, and kind of she's taken a hold of this entire thesis. So whether it's a Rajasthan Royals IPL sponsorship, or a Ashwin ad, or a Alaya ad, the theme has to be the same. The feeling of what the consumer experiences when they interact with us has to be the same.
The brand recall, the color scheme, the packaging.
Be consistent. The words have to be similar. The Instagram page has to evoke those same emotions. So we are a challenger brand. We are kind of rebellious. We are bold. We are fearless. We break status quo. We do things that are unimaginable. We're taking on a monopoly in a space which has never been disrupted in India, including by global giants, including by Indian giants, including by India's most famous marketer in the consumer care space, Darshan Bhai, with Fog, who tried to do it with his brand clothes. So many people have tried. They have not done it. We are the first ones who have come in, and now we're 20% the size of our biggest competitor. 20% the size in 9 years. So I think we do things that people think are impossible. It gives us a kick. But we have to keep trying because we're still a 10-year-old child.
That brings me to my next question, is about the challenges that you faced, because everybody talks about, I have grown, I have done X, Y, Z, but no one really talks about what have you done to overcome the challenges and be where you are.
I think, so we made a lot of mistakes, like I told you. We have been very fortunate that we had investors who backed us through our mistakes, because mistakes give you the time to learn, but your mistakes also cost you money, right? So they make you inefficient at a capital structure level. I'll give you some examples. This clarity that we have of being a hair removal company, it's a very sharp positioning, was not there 4 years ago. 4 years ago, if you see the Bombay Shaving Company website, we had body washes and soaps and, no trimmers, no razors. Shaving cream, shaving scrub, face wash. So just a very wide variety of products with no real core. Every product will give you 10 lakh rupees of revenue per month, 20 lakhs maybe. But it's just stacking up SKUs on top of each other. That's not a brand. That is not a brand. So we realized after 5 years of doing this nonsense that boss, अगर तुम 10 लोगों को पूछो कि बॉम्बे शेविंग कंपनी क्या है तो वो 10 अलग जवाब देंगे आपको. तो दैट्स नॉट अ ब्रांड. अगर तुम 10 लोगों को पूछो मैगी क्या है वो सेम आंसर देंगे आपको. कि अमूल क्या है सेम आंसर देंगे आपको.
क्योंकि यूएसपी बना रहे हैं ना.
वो एक ही चीज़ के लिए जाने जाते हैं और वो चीज़ वो बहुत अच्छे से करते हैं. अमूल लस्सी हो, छाछ हो, दही हो, चीज़ हो, whatever. But they will tell you what Amul is. We could not tell what Bombay Shaving Company was 4 years back. So that was one mistake we made. And many more. Like with people, we have made mistakes. We've hired wrong. We have rejected wrong. We have overhired sometimes. Right? I think the fundamental tenet is that never compromise self-awareness for comfort. Because never compromise self-awareness for comfort, because it's very easy to ignore the problem because you feel good about yourself. कि assortment ठीक ही तो है, हो जाएगा, बन जाएगा कंपनी. है तो हमारे पास 10 प्रोडक्ट जो 10 लाख रुपए महीने का कर रहे हैं. It's a good revenue. अच्छी तो बात ना. The hard question which makes you uncomfortable and makes you more self-aware as a business is important to be asked. And sometimes entrepreneurs may not have that. If you want to be a real business, you have to be known for one thing. Then we realize, okay, hair removal. Okay, if you want to be hair removal, now we cannot not have razors. We cannot not have trimmers. Trimmers, by the way, was not an easy product to launch. Trimmers is an appliance category. It doesn't sit in a kirane ki dukaan. It's not a repeat business. It has to be imported many times. It's totally different from everything else we make. तो मेरा तो बिल्कुल मन नहीं था करने का. But because the brand promise is what it is, and because the consumer is watching Virat and Ranveer and growing beards and wanting trimmers, boss, the brand has to adapt. So from a mistake standpoint, I think you have to A, make enough mistakes, and B, when you have made them, don't escalate your commitment to them just because you want to show the world that you have this fierce drive and you are going against the world. No. Most battles should not be won against the grain. Most battles should be won in an easy way. So never compromise self-awareness for comfort.
Now about your customers and the data that you receive, I've seen a subscription model also on the website. How is it helping you better the brand?
We don't have a subscription model which works at scale. And I think it's a learning for us that in India, subscriptions have typically been very difficult to do. We are in a world that you can get anything. In this building, you can order anything and get it in 6 minutes in our category. You don't need to subscribe. You'll get it at a great price. You'll get it now. You'll get it when you want. For subscription to work, you need to know in a category, you need to know what is the quantity you're going to buy. You need to know the brand you're going to buy. And you need to know when you're going to buy. Right? Only then will you subscribe to something. Or it is an always on feature like Netflix. But in like a product case, these 3 things have to be done. So 2 categories where all 3 conditions are fulfilled are sanitary pads and diapers.
You always think them.
तुमको brand पता है, तुमको कितना चाहिए वो पता है, तुमको कब चाहिए वो पता है, broadly. Our category does not belong to that. You ask anyone, how many razors do you want? They will not know. How many blades do you want? They'll say maybe 2, maybe 4. When do you want them? I don't know.
जब ज़रूरत पड़े.
How many? No idea. Right? When they want, I'll go to the store or I'll buy it or blink it. So we realized that in our category, we need to be available when the customer feels the need. We don't need to push. Subscriptions work great for the brand. They are not very valuable to the consumer. India, our consumers are used to getting newspaper and milk also on debt. We take the whole month subscription and we pay the guy at the end. Right. Who am I to take it upfront on a razor? So I feel like be available Make sure that your availability is fulfilled as quickly as possible, and customers will repeat if your product is good. That's the
That is for sure, because they bounce back to what
Yeah.
most comforting thing
Yeah.
is.
Once the product is in your hand, it has to deliver an outstanding experience. From opening it to the sensorial smell, to the way it feels in your hand, to the way the blade feels on your face, or wherever you're putting it, to the booklet that you read, to the words that are used for your customer, to how pampered they feel afterwards, to what they get in their email or on a WhatsApp message, maybe every other week.
All the disposal, which is very, very important.
Very. So you have to make the customer, because the customer is getting this from 1,000 places. Licious से भी आ रहा है, वो Lenskart से भी आ रहा है, वो Zomato से 10 बार आ रहा है दिन में. So now you're one of 1,000 voices. So make it worthwhile. Brands have to reduce their sense of self-importance in a customer's life. You are important as a brand to you because you are selling it, and you are an employee in that company, or you are the founder, or whatever it is. We are the brand. We are important to us. We are not important to you. We do our job in your life for 4 minutes out of 24 hours, once in a while. That's it. उससे ज़्यादा नहीं है.
Need and want.
Colgate, phenomenal product. Every morning for 2 minutes, if you brush well, you're fresh for the whole day. You're very happy with Colgate. Is Colgate very important to you as a brand? No. Does Colgate recognize it? Yes. It's a very humbling thing if you think about it. We are not very important to you, but we do an important job. We don't expect you to recognize it. It's okay if you don't. If you like what we do, just come back and buy us. That's all we need to do as marketers. That's it.
Don't push, because sometimes you push so much and there's so much clutter कि जो लेने वाला को भी दोबारा सोचेगा. And there's so much happening. Maybe I'll just choose something else so I don't get that notification or message or download an app.
Absolutely. Do not turn off your customers by pretending like you're more important to them than you actually are. You're not. You're not. Unless you're a cancer drug, you're not. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's the only time. Ambulance service, cancer drug, that's when you can really pretend to be very important and blah blah. Otherwise, कुछ नहीं है. क्यों करना?
What technology or metrics are you using to map what customers are wanting now?
Plenty, yeah. We do a lot. I think
AI.
we are doing a lot on AI. We have a lot of AI partners. We use a lot of tools. Like for example, GoQuick. In fact, GoQuick, the founder Chirag Tareja used to be our chief revenue officer. So we get a lot of soft corner treatment from him. He and I have just started a podcast together called Asymmetric, along with Rayvant from Mosaic. So we are it's very clear. Our role in the world is to provide great hair removal solutions. Our role is to not build technology. Okay, our role is to not build performance marketing tools. Other people do that very well. So we rely on those, from GoQuick to delivery to now we are now exploring same day delivery. We can't go and put a same day delivery fleet. It's not our job. But will we work with delivery to do it? Yes. Right? So I think we are in touch with, and I run a podcast where I'm in touch with founders, etc. So it allows us to be on top of a lot of innovation all the time, and we do that well. Plus, I think our core is with consumers, we're on top of what consumers are always wanting. That's what technology helps us.
Okay. Now that we've seen Bombay Shaving, it has so many products and has plethora of them. There is this women's section product which was earlier not part of the plan.
Yeah.
How did that fit in?
COVID. So it's a great question because it's not an intuitive thing. In COVID 2021, 2020 in fact, wave 1, everything was shut. Salons were shut, waxing parlors were shut. We had 17 women employees. And they were actually up in arms because they had hair growing on their arms and legs. And I remember she came and told me that, why don't we have a razor for women? And I said, we're a men's company. She's like, why? We're a shaving company. We're not a men's company. We're a shaving company. And as a shaving company, we have to have a razor for women also. And I said, I don't understand women's shaving. She said, that's your problem. We understand it. Let us create. I said, so good. So that's when we realized we should do it. And we realized that the women's hair removal market is very different from men.
Yes,
Men shave cheek to chin. Smaller hair, denser hair, shave at the basin. Women shave in different ways. So the idea for women, the existing idea for women was that make women's razors soft, safe. Their skin is soft, they're sensitive, delicate, all of that. Rubbish. Nothing is farther from the truth. Women can shave with a knife if they want to. They're such evolved consumers. But what women want is, because they're in the shower area or sometimes they're in the bedroom, they don't have constant access to water the way a man shaving does. So when you give a woman a razor with blades very close to each other, the hair gets stuck. And when a long hair gets stuck on the razor stops working here. So the long strokes don't work. So the insight which these 17 women found was, you don't put the blades close, put the blades far apart. And that was an aha moment. We're like, that is great, the world does not know this. So we made a razor where the blades were 30% further apart. So the hair would go behind the razor blade. So you did not have to wash the razor. पूरे बाल पीछे आ रहे थे उसके. So blades were always exposed. That was our first product. I said, this is great. Now I don't have a first-hand view of the consumer, but we have women who do. So we said, we need a women team. We need a women CEO. So we got an ex-Bain and Company alumnus, Siddha Jain, IIM Bangalore, IIT Bombay, smart as a blade, sharp as a blade. Got her in, she built a team, and today we are, it's 20% of our business, and she's rocking it. So that business did not make any of the mistakes that our Bombay Shaving Company business made. For example, small brand name. Bombay Shaving Company is a long brand name. You need short brand name, so we made it Bombay.
BAE.
BAE,
Yes.
Right? We said, let's make it super sharp upfront. No plethora of products. 5 products बेचेंगे बस. Choose 5. That's it. Nothing more.
That's all you need.
That's all. So now you have to now reject, and third, make it profitable within 2 years. So now that company is so much more robust. Lean team, very close to the consumer. Now they're teaching Bombay Shaving Company guys how to do stuff. That's how it started. And now we're a 2-brand hair removal business.
Wonderful. Personal grooming is growing each day.
Yeah.
What is it that Bombay Shaving is planning to do next?
So Bombay Shaving Company in Bombay, I think, see, there are 35 crore men who shave every day. Around 40 crore men who remove some hair from their body every day. 27 to 28 crore of them do it on their own. That's the market. 28 crore, 280 million people do it on their own, right? Starting from the age of 14, all the way till the age of 80. From a teenage boy with acne to an 80-year-old great-grandfather with wrinkly neck. They all want something to report.
Gen Z, Gen X.
Gen Z to baby boomer. Okay? Women, from a 15, 16-year-old girl who has hair on her legs for the first time, to upper lips, to getting married, to wearing formal clothes at her workplace, to wearing a swimsuit when she's out on vacation. She also has different sexually active couples for the first time. They have. India is a hot country. Every single use case for hair removal, we have not even explored 10%. Not even 10%. We don't know 90% of this market, in my view. I think there is so much that we can explore and innovate. We have hair removal sprays now. Just spray it on your chest, let's for a man. Spray it on your chest. After 8 minutes, you remove it off. The hair is gone. Because we don't need a 100% shave. Unlike waxing, we don't need 100%. 90%, it's totally okay. Right? So there's so much innovation in this. There's so much we can do which makes it easier, less painful, more organic, skin friendly. There's so much innovation, R&D that is possible in this space. Blade technology is only 3 companies in the world that make blade quality steel. Why can't we make a 4th? Why? Why isn't steel a part of my portfolio? Why am I buying steel? I want to make it. Sounds stupid, I know, but I'm just saying there's a lot that can happen in this space, right? And I think we're not even scratched the surface. So there's plenty. Right now, we're roughly 300 crores in top line. I think our 300,000 crore journey will be about doing what we're doing today, doing it at scale, doing it very well. That's the idea. Go into every channel, make your product available to every potential customer. We probably are available to 5% of our potential customers today, right? 5%. Make it more available. And then in parallel start the 1,000 crore to 5,000 crore journey as a brand will possibly be through real innovations that seem impossible today.
Thoughts become things.
Yeah, you have to manifest it. It's a 30-40 year journey. More, at the very least, for me. After that, once I'm no more, the company can take it forward.
Talk good things.
No, I think the company is an entity that is independent of the founder. At some point,
You gotta let
you have not let go, but you have to make it like it becomes its own thing. You play a role, your shareholders play a role, your customers play a role, your employees play a role, your senior team plays. Everyone is then feeding this entity.
So it's becoming a personality of its own.
Yeah, it's a living, breathing thing of its own. I'm proud of what I've built, frankly, but it's independent of me now. I play my role in it, as do thousands of other people.
You did what you did.
Yeah.
Shantanu, take us through the matrix that you're using to understand your consumers more.
Plenty. Okay, so let's break this up, right? At the very fundamental level, right? What is a business? Business is equal to number of customers who come to you, multiplied by conversion rate, multiplied by average order value. Number of customers who come into your store, it could be any store. It could be an Amazon page, it could be a Blinkit store, it could be a physical store. Number of customers who come, multiplied by conversion rate, multiplied by average value spent. Now, each of these three metrics can be broken up into like many L1, L2, L3 level metrics. And depending upon the retail environment, now I can take each example and tell you how we do it, right? So, for example, let's take Blinkit. Quick commerce is like the flavor of the day, right? People want, it's 7:30 in the morning, your shaving cream is out, you want a shaving cream. So, number of customers who come to you is number of customers who come to Blinkit and they type shaving cream in the search bar. Now, that is where the magic starts. Now, and this is happening at a pin code level. It's a very different story in Bangalore, it's a very different story in Gurgaon, it will be very different in Pune. At every pin code level, how many customers see your shaving cream on top, competing with Gillette and Old Spice and Park Avenue? And then how many of them are clicking on it? So then we say, okay, in some places lesser people are clicking, in some places more people are clicking. Once they click, then how many of them are then buying? So now the click through and then the add to cart or the purchase button. At each of these, we see what is the conversion rate. And if they are moving, for example, if the add to cart is lower, then we know that we are not competing well with the others. Is it a price issue? Is it a brand salience issue? Is it a SKU size issue? Then we have to go and double click. And then, so that's the number of customers part, right? And the conversion rate. Then average order value. Now, average order value means if Sakshi is coming to my store and she's only buying 50 rupees worth of stuff, why can't I get her to buy 200? What is her share of, what is her wallet? If she's only spending 100 rupees, then 50 rupees is fine. But if Sakshi is spending 5,000 rupees, then 50 rupees is too small. Can I get her to buy 300, 400? That means, do I need more assortment or do I need to premiumize or do I need to do both? And you have to do this at every pin code, for every category, for every quick commerce player, Blinkit, and then you have to do this for every retail environment. And then you have to kind of add it up to what are the three big decisions that you will make as a company.
Holistically.
Yes. So you have to go super deep and then you have to go super top level. Now we need to get into these two categories. For example, boss, we don't have a hair removal spray, for example. It's coming up. Shaving cream moved to shaving foams. Hair removal cream, 700 crores will move to hair removal sprays. Only one company there, let's make it. Category बनाना पड़ेगा, महंगा है, invest करना पड़ेगा. Okay, so what's the ROI? So this is, I cannot list down 10 metrics, right, but this is the thought process for doing it. But it's a very analytical, sharp approach to giving the best products to consumers all the time.
So you're saying product experience is equal to customer experience?
Absolutely. After that, once the product is sold, then the different world starts. So this is pre-product sale. Post-product sale, the first thing is is product reviews. What is the average review a shaving cream has on Amazon, on Flipkart, on Blinkit, etc.? Is it 3.9? Is it 4.2? Is it 4.1? Anything under 4, problem.
Okay.
Why? So for example, one of our razors, Sensi Smart 3, has a rating of 4, but many 1-star ratings.
Okay.
So you can have a rating of 4 if everyone rates you 4 on 5. And that's not a great thing to be. But you can also have a rating of 4 if many people rate you 5 and a few people rate you 1. You would much rather have few people love your product than many people like your product. Okay. Now, in that case, the 10 1-stars, why are they disliking? So in our case, we sell our Sensi Smart 3 at 99 rupees. It's a 3-blade razor. The other 3-blade razor in the market is Mark 3 at 250 rupees. So a 250 rupee guy comes down to 99 rupees to buy a product and he expects a 250 rupee level experience. That's a bad drop.
Asking for too much.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that's not his fault. He should ask for a lot. But at 99 rupees, I cannot give him a Mark 3 experience. So I get those 10 marks. So now I have to make sure that my laddering to the product is happening from the 40 rupee razor, not from the 250 rupee razor. I have to ladder up to Sensi Smart 3, not ladder down. That's the only way my customer experience becomes better, not worse. In a product, it's not comparable. It's like comparing a Domino's pizza to a gourmet Oberoi, customized pizza for you. You can't do that. So this is how we have to do it post sales. Right? Okay, now measure the reviews, measure NPS at the brand level, and then measure repeats. Repeats is everything. People say no, it's about penetration and distribution, etc. Sure, we can take market share and distribution metrics make sense, but for me, repeats is everything. That a customer, like women are easier to engage, hard to please.
Yeah.
Men are hard to engage, easy to please. So if I put a product in a man's bathroom, it's a shaving foam, he uses it, it finishes, he'll come back and buy. He won't sochega nahi, right? So a repeat for men is easier. So it's a higher bar. For women, I know that
It's more calculated move.
yeah, I know that she'll flirt. She'll see what are the 5 other ones. Who's really respecting her? That's just how women are. They're different consumer groups. So repeats again for Bombay Shaving Company in Bombay, we measure them differently. But this is the whole world of metrics of consumer, which is pre-sale and then post-sale. So yeah.
It was a very, very insightful discussion, and thank you so much for doing
Thank
this.
you.
Shantanu.
My pleasure, and I hope this was helpful to your viewers and to you and other founders.
Thank you, Shantanu, for giving us your time and being here. Today's conversation transcends into something extremely meaningful. True brand relevance emerges when companies look at individuals as customers with dynamic expectation beyond just data point. With this, I would like to invite you for an exclusively curated CX dialogues where you get to meet the biggest and the largest CX leaders across sector at Udaipur. See you there.